Chelsea and Arsenal in one episode. What's the worst that could happen? Also, there's been an announcement about the channel on the community page. You want to read the announcement that's on the community page. Headline is, there's only going to be Football Manager content on this channel from now on. It explains why in detail on there. I might even try and repost it as the pinned comment on this video as well. But just Football Manager from now on, folks, which I imagine is going to please most of you. Hello and welcome to part 129 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we're away against Chelsea and at home against Arsenal, both in the Premier League. It still isn't, I'm not tired of saying we're in the Premier League yet. It's still fun. Since you were last with me, we've still only played a few games. We're very much taking little chunks between our episodes at the moment because I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off. They haven't yet, but if it's ever going to happen, it's this run of 3 games that we've got now. Arsenal and Chelsea in the league, and then Arsenal again in the Carabao Cup. We are through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, though, having beaten Fylde and Bristol City, and we've just beaten Stoke in the Premier League as well. So the Premier League table at the moment looks thusly. We are in 13th place after, I know it's only 7 games, but the important thing is 10 points on the board already after just 7 games. We're well ahead of the Kev ratio. That's right, the Kev ratio is back. But we're also a quarter of the way towards the kind of traditional target for points for survival in the Premier League. If we hit 40 points, we should be safe. We've already got 10 of those on the board. And it's only in the middle of October. So it's been a promising start to the season. We just need to try and hold things together and get those 40 points as quickly as we possibly can so that we can chill out a little bit. This is going to be the team that we're putting out there for the first of today's games against Chelsea. And it is starting to get a little bit more of a familiar look about it as we start to figure out what our best team is. So we've got Hugo in goal, a back four of Robertson, Taggart, Hermes and Galliano. I'm told that's how you say his name, not Gagliano. I could be wrong. Palais, Fia and Smith are in midfield with Del Gaudio behind Brown and Graziano. Brown and Graziano as Graziani, not Graziano. That's a front two we've not played together before. We have been playing Brown and Afsharian for a few games, but Simone Graziani is starting to get a little bit grumpy that he's not getting any game times. I've promised him more game time, and to be honest, at 24 years old and the ability that he's got, we kind of need to give him that game time when he wants it because we don't want to upset him and scare him away. That being said, if we play him in the next 3 or 4 games and he still hasn't got a goal, then forget game time, forget keeping him happy. We get the goal scorers back in the team because we can't carry anybody. And if we have to bin him off and call him a failure, then that's what we'll do because we don't have room for sentimentality in this team because if we did, Sawyer and Ball would both be in it. Alas, we do not. So they are not. James Ball still hasn't made his Premier League debut either, so that's something we do need to work on at some point this season. Sawyer has made his Premier League debut, but we've got to give an appearance to James Ball as well. It's looking less likely that Sawyer's going to break the all-time appearance record, though, because he's now our 4th choice centre-back and not anywhere near as good as the other lads that we've got. We're 1-0 down after 8 minutes, but, you know, we're away against Chelsea. We're supposed to be 1-0 down after 8 minutes away against Chelsea. If you recall, we were absolutely thumped by Newcastle at the start of the season. When you play against these teams who are good, Newcastle are up there in 2nd place in the league at the moment. When we're away from home against these good teams, we're just going to get hammered. So we just need to accept the fact that today's first match is going to be a bit of a hammering. However, Arsenal are below us in the league, so we're at home against a team who haven't had as good a start as we've had, so we have got hopes for the second match in today's episode, but then you do have to remember they are still Arsenal, wherever they may be in the league. What just happened there? Was that how? I don't even know what that penalty was given for. It looked like Hugo kind of caught the cross, but then it was somehow given as a penalty, and with 10 minutes on the clock, we're 2-0 down, and I'm turning to drink. It is only water, but still. Got to hydrate myself to get me through commentating on another 4 or 5 goals going in. Oh, now we've lost our right back as well. Do we have a backup right back on the bench? We do. We have Etchabi. People have tried to tell me how to say his name. We're going to need to do some nicknames, I think, because some of these names, him in particular, Etchabi, no idea, Etch-a-Sketch, he'll probably become, because that's as close as I can get, and it sounds a little bit like it. Right, Hugo collects the cross this time, and this time, thankfully, doesn't give away a penalty doing it. Was it Hugo who gave away the penalty? I'm still not entirely sure what happened for that penalty, and Chelsea are just all over us again. We can't do anything about it. We've had 38% possession, and now we've had an own goal as well. And with 20 minutes on the clock, or 22 minutes on the clock, we're 3-0 down. We've only had 38% possession. We've not had a shot yet. I can hear the chorus of people from the comments saying, Kev, when you're away from home against teams like Chelsea, you should be counter-attacking, you should be defending. No! I say nay! I should not be doing that, because that's what people have said every time we've got promoted. And eventually, by practicing it and getting used to the level we're at, we get to the point where we can win away from home playing the way we want to play. Until then, we'll just lose these games. It's fine. If we went here and counter-attacked, we'd still lose. We may as well lose practicing playing our way against good opposition. It really doesn't matter if we lose 7 or 8-0. We were going to lose anyway. Goal difference isn't likely to be important for us this season because we're going to concede so many goals. So, who cares? Let's just try and attack, try and grab a goal, and hopefully keep our faculties about us for the Arsenal game that's coming up next, and see if we can maybe grab a draw against them. But again, Arsenal, home and away, they're a team we're supposed to lose to. We can scratch around and get our points against the like of Wolves, Stoke, Leicester, Palace, Brentford. These are the teams we need to be picking up points against, and so far they are the teams we've been picking up points against. So I'm still fairly comfortable with how things are going. If we get to March and we're still only on 15 points, we're relegated then, so I don't need to worry anyway. See, no matter what happens, there's nothing to fear. Right, Robertson, we've got the opportunity for an attack here. It's with Brown. Plays it through to Graziani, who misses. Hugo seems to be having a game similar to the one that Egan had on the first game of the season, when we all said, yeah, he just had a mare. It wasn't that bad a performance. And looking at this, Chelsea have only had 2 clear-cut chances. We've had 1. 4-0 to them feels a little bit harsh, and it comes down to that just massive difference in quality again. When they get a chance, they're going to score because they've got world-class players against Lee Hugo, who is a good championship keeper, but that's it. Whereas when we get a chance, we're not going to score because they've got a world-class defence and goalkeeper against Graziani, who's untried in the top division in any country. So it's going to take a little bit of time before we're competitive in games like this. We will always have Manchester United. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the episode from, I think it was from Friday, where we beat Manchester United, and it was glorious. Right, Hugo collects the ball again, and we're actually looking a little bit more with it in the second half. I think it's probably because Chelsea have taken their foot off the pedal completely, and it's 5-0. Oh, some of these away games against big teams, I think I'm going to have to edit down to just the goals flying in and me looking exasperated so that we don't have to have all the bits in between. Place your bets. It's 5-0 after 55 minutes. I think our record defeat is 8-0. Oh, we might be on for that today, everybody. Let's go break a record. Then at least I can clickbait the video and call it record breaking, and get my record breakers icon out again that I use occasionally. Usually when we break a positive record, but let's break a negative one. Why not? At least then our history books will always show that we had this season in the Premier League, because that's where we got our record loss. Look at that. That's awesome from Ed Chabby. Excellent piece of right back in, and he picks the ball up again. It's with Graziani. Del Gaudio back to Fire, no idea. Del Gaudio's in, and he should have scored. It's now 3-2 on clear-cut chances, but 5-0 in reality because of the difference in quality between the two teams. Let's make some substitutions. We could basically... Oh, look at Hermes. Bless his cotton socks. 4.6. Let's just put him out of his misery. And Smith's not... I mean, I could take anybody off in this situation. It really comes down to who I've got to bring on. And I guess the obvious one, we bring on Afsharian for Graziani, because Afsharian is our top scorer so far this season. 3 goals. He scored in our last game as well. He might go grab another goal in this one. Now he's getting 20 minutes. I thought we were going to get a penalty there, but Brown really should learn to fall down in situations like that. Showing a little bit of naivety there, but at least we're honest. And he is chasing back nicely as well. And Taggart needs to make up his mind what he's doing here, and finds Hugo. And it's just lumped forward completely aimlessly, but we collect it back up again in our midfield. But the midfield have all had a nightmare today. And once again, they give the ball away. But was that Hermes with a big ball over the top towards Brown? And here's our chance. And no, it's now 3-3 on clear-cut chances. So I'm calling it. We're being mugged at the moment, boys and girls. We deserve a draw out of this game. It's actually been fairly even on the stats. Obviously, there's one big stat. There you go. Afsharian does grab his goal. I guess I've just got to stop leaving this man out. And apparently Chelsea are his former club as well. Well, there you go. He must have come through the Chelsea youth team. Ali Afsharian now with his 4th goal in the Premier League this season, and I'm still not starting him regularly because clearly I just don't trust the man, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him. Just makes me reluctant to give him long runs of game time. I've just got to bite the bullet and accept that he's been our best striker since we signed him down in League One, and it's time he got a run of appearances because he's still never had one. But 5-1, I think that doesn't feel too bad. We've actually created more chances in total than Chelsea have. So, I mean, our passing's been a bit weak. We've not been great on headers. We've tackled well. We've actually evened out possession as we've gone into this second half, and we've created more chances. I'm not disgusted with that as a performance. If we carry on playing this way, as the quality of our players increases, both through them generally getting better and through us signing better players, going to somewhere like Chelsea and playing the way we've just played, that'll get us a result in 2 seasons' time. So I'm comfortable with that. Let's go and beat Arsenal. Sweeping changes for the Arsenal game then for a couple of reasons. Partly, we lost 5-1. Which wasn't very good. But also, we've had another bunch of players turn up banging on my office door saying, give me football. Betten is one, so he comes in at left back. Pihiri is another one, so he comes in at midfield. Egan's another one, so he comes in goal. Galliano's injured, so Etchebay comes in at right back. I've also brought Levi Hayes back into the team. Player of the season in the Championship last year. Hasn't really had the opportunity in the Premier League just yet, with just 4 appearances out of a possible 9, I think, at this point. So he's coming in as well to see if he can be a bit of a difference maker. And also, I've left Hermes in the team, because why not? King comes in for Taggart, though. Hermes is supposed to be our best defender. I've got to give him another opportunity. Although, actually, looking at that, he's absolutely not our best defender. He's old. He's our oldest defender. I'm totally clutching at straws here. Let's have a look to see what happens against Arsenal. What's the worst that could happen here? It's another one of those games. I mean, today is an episode where we're supposed to lose both games. So if we manage to look half decent here against Arsenal, I'm going to take that as a massive win. We were fairly level on stats against Chelsea. If we can be fairly level on stats against Arsenal too, I'm not that concerned about the result. We're still going to be ahead of the Kev ratio, even if we lose. And then we'll focus on playing against rubbish teams to pick up the rest of our points. And Arsenal have just missed. That's nice, because that's something Chelsea didn't really do. Perhaps that's why Arsenal are down below us in the league. Perhaps they've been missing a lot so far this season. So I can get on board with them missing today. Again, makes a good save again. Or Egan. I liked being in non-league when I could say everybody's names. Josh Egan is English, for goodness sake, and I can't say his name regardless. And then we've got all these non-English players who I've got absolutely no chance of saying their names. Hermes, Tupiri, Del Gaudio, who I think he's been one of the better signings so far. Del Gaudio does look very good every time he's out there, apart obviously against Chelsea where nobody looked any good. But he did have a couple of chances in that game. Offside, surely. He misses anyway, but that was, I mean, he seemed like a long way offside. Statistically, we're in control of the match. Wowzers. Arsenal must be poor. The problem is we've not actually had a shot on target despite controlling the match. So they're going to come in and grab a goal. They've just had another very good chance. Arsenal have had 3 clear-cut chances now, which is as many as Chelsea had in the entire game to get 5 goals against us. So I think we are being let off the hook a little bit in this first half by a team that are just down on their luck, down on confidence. It's the perfect time for us to play Arsenal. And now we need to go out there and grab a winner in this second half, because I don't think we're going to get a better opportunity to beat them. And all of the issues... I mean, why have we not even got Afsharian on the bench? I've just noticed. I was planning on bringing him on. I've got to start picking my own bench. Graziani crosses in towards Brown. He can't quite get there, but it's back again with Hayes to Del Gaudio. Graziani and Who scored? Del Gaudio scored. I thought it was Levi Hayes who'd got up in that position, but it is actually Del Gaudio. And we are 1-0 up against Arsenal, 52 minutes on the clock. This would be a spectacular result if we managed to pull this off. Mugging of the series as well, because Arsenal have had so many chances. And this is Del Gaudio looking good again. He's going to be a very good player for us. Once he's fully settled in, he's going to be a superstar. Graziani with the assist as well, so justifying his existence a little bit more. Although I still would like to be bringing Ali Afsharian on. We have got Hull on the bench. We've got Ruggles on the bench as well. So we do have firepower down there. Del Gaudio, a big ball forward though, but can't find Graziano. But it does find him at the second time of asking. He's down the wing, beats his man, plays it in towards Hayes. And Hayes should be at least hitting the target there. And I hope we don't live to regret that, because that was a big chance for Levi Hayes, who's getting a big opportunity today to play in a slightly more attacking position and needs to take advantage of situations like that. Right, rubbish defenders. We're going to bring Taggart on for Hermes. We're not going to take them both off because we don't have another centre-back to bring on. But what we are going to do is bring on Sean Hull for James Brown and give Hull 20 minutes to see if he can prove that he's a Premier League player. Our top scorer last season in the promotion season hasn't really done it for us yet in the Premier League. I hope he will eventually figure out how to make the step up, but it's not looking good for him at the moment. We'll take off Hayes as well and bring on Tony Barron, another one who was an outstanding performer for us last year and hasn't had much of an opportunity yet this season. 9 minutes left for us to hold on to a very slender lead against an Arsenal team that really do deserve to be beating us. Just looking at the state of those stats, we're absolutely mugging their faces off. And now they come at us again. But we intercept, and it's with Hull. And we've actually got a man over in the middle here. It's Graziani. But Del Gaudio goes... He doesn't go it alone. He plays it across to Graziani. It's like he was listening to me. And Simone Graziani, 6 games in now, finally has his first goal for Nuneaton. And it's a cracking little breakaway goal. Del Gaudio did brilliantly there and just squared it across to a wide open Graziani. Hopefully that's the first of many for us now from Graziani. And it's 2-0 with 8 minutes to go. We could potentially beat Arsenal here, everybody. I don't care what happened against Chelsea. We went into this episode with no expectations of any points at all. We're going to come out the back of it with 3 points on the board. We're 12th in the league, 13 points after 9 games. This is awesome. Bettin with an excellent little clearance as well, just hopefully to protect a clean sheet for us. And it's lumped forward towards Graziani again. Surely we can't grab a third. It's with Hull and we don't have time to even have the third attempt. We have just mugged them like no other mugging you've seen before, but we picked up the win, and that is a massive, massive victory, because it's another one of those games where we're not planning to pick up any points there. So the fact that we have is awesome. Marvellous. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.